Guys, so I'm just going to make a quick video. You could call this my 4-week pregnancy video. Okay, so if you watch my video where I announced that I'm pregnant, you'll see that I said that I was unwell for a few, well, basically like a week or 2 weeks, which alerted to me that something was unusual, and hence why I tested. And some of the symptoms included the fact that I had a really dodgy stomach, just like a really upset tummy every single day, and so that was something that really stood out to me. Another symptom that I had was that I was weeing a lot, and you know, I'm one of those people that probably goes to the bathroom just like once or twice a day for a wee, and I was going like, I think it was 11 o'clock in the morning, and I've been like 5 times for a wee, so that's a lot of times for me. And I thought maybe I had like a urine infection, because obviously I wasn't expecting to be pregnant, so you know, I thought maybe I had a urine infection. But that symptom has continued since I found out I'm pregnant, so I'm pretty sure that it is a pregnancy symptom, is that I am using the bathroom, passing urine a lot more frequently. So that's that. So tired. And I know a couple of these are like really common pregnancy symptoms, so I'll just, you know, throw them out there quickly. But yeah, really, really tired, as in like literally feel like all the energy sucked out of me, and would just happily sit on my ass all day and not do anything because I'm literally so tired, falling asleep, you know, really struggling to stay awake. So there was that. So I think some of the symptoms that I can say are symptoms now that I know I'm pregnant, which definitely are quite unusual. So for instance, and I've noticed this with a couple of times that I've been pregnant, that I seem to be the same way, that in the like 2 weeks after conception, I'll go through a stage of being overly sensitive to something really random. So for instance, something that normally wouldn't have any effect on me would like really disturb me or play on my mind. I became very upset. This is really random. I became really upset with the song Diamonds in the Sky by Rhiannon. And that song, you know, it's a good song, it's a powerful song, but you know, it doesn't really affect me. It's not one of my favourites or anything like that. But this song really upset me, and it wasn't because it made me think of anything, because you know, sometimes you have a song that makes you feel emotional, but it's because you're thinking of something romantic or you're thinking of something sad. But it wasn't like that. There was nothing about the song that I was thinking about. It was just a reaction I had every time I heard it. I just suddenly felt really upset, and I couldn't logically put my finger on why. There was no reason for me to be upset, but I just knew that I really didn't like that song at the time. It was really upsetting me. So yeah, that was really random. Noticed something that really disturbed me again, and it's like one of those mummy fail moments. I was sitting in the front of my car, and Danny and the rest of the children were sat in the back seats. And we were waiting outside a chippy for my brother. He was getting chip shop for the kids. And I turned around and noticed that my son, Danny, had a little sweet or something sticky stuck in his hair. And it was right by because his hair's really short, it's only to like about here. It was at the very bottom of the strand of hair. So I reached over into the back seat to pull it out for him. And so I pulled it out, but I was using my right hand, and I'm left-handed, so I didn't realise, because I was using my right hand, how hard I was pulling. I pulled the sweet out. He started screaming, I mean screaming at me, and I looked at the sweet, and that's when I realised I'd pulled out a huge chunk of his hair, because I honestly felt like I could just pull the sweet away from the end and it would just come off, but instead the whole strand of his hair kept it, because I was so disturbed by it. I pulled out from the root all this hair, and he was absolutely screaming. So I jumped out of the car, took him out of his car seat, and I looked at his scalp, and there was a big red patch, a boulder patch, where I'd pulled all the hair out of his head from the root, and kissing him and saying, "I'm so sorry, Danny, I'm so sorry." And obviously that's like a really upsetting thing to happen. But what I noticed, which obviously now I realise that it's pregnancy related, was that it really disturbed me. Like, it played on my mind. I was thinking about it all the time. It upset me for days. All I could think about and visualise was me pulling my baby's hair out of his scalp with my own hands. And it just upset me so much, even though, like, as soon as I, like, because I always, with my kid, if he's upset or hurt, I offer him breast milk just to comfort him. And as soon as I gave him the breast milk, he went, you know, calm, and he was happy and he was fine. And obviously it really hurt him. I'm not saying it wasn't a bad thing, it really, really was. But my reaction to it was completely over the top, and I was like really, really upset by it. And yes, Danny. Okay, you have a drink. Good boy. Thank you. Are you shutting the door? Thank you. Danny's telling me that he's going to have a drink. Yeah, so things like that really, really played in my mind. There was a couple of other things I can't remember right now, but I knew that it's just a weird feeling. It's not like you're emotional, because obviously leading up to your period you get PMT and you're very hypersensitive and you're very emotional. But I was like not really emotional most of the time, apart from just a couple of random things that I would be over the top about. So yeah, that's like a mummy fail moment. I pulled my child's hair out from the scalp. But like I said, I was using my right hand. I honestly didn't realise how hard I was pulling his poor head. Anyway, so that's one of the things, is that you know, I just had these moments of being over the top upset about things. Since then I've kind of got to the point now where I'm either, whatever emotion I am, I'm completely over the top in that emotion. So if I'm happy, I'm like overly happy. I'm like ecstatically happy. If I'm sad, I'm like heartbrokenly sad. And if I'm angry, I'm like furiously enraged. And there doesn't seem to be any happy medium. Like, I just seem to be over the top in whatever emotion I'm feeling. So that's a bit a bit scary, but I do recall feeling like that with prior pregnancies, so it should settle down. So yeah, I have been having a lot of salivation, like my mouth keeps filling up with water all the time. And I had that with Christina and Daniel, and unfortunately I'm one of those women that gets hyperemesis gravidarum, which is severe morning sickness where you repeatedly and violently throwing up the entire time and you can't keep fluids down and stuff like that. I'm one of those people, and I have a sneaking suspicion, due to the upset stomachs I've been having and the increased salivation, that I probably am going to have hyperemesis with this pregnancy as well. But fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. The name for increased salivation is tirelism, I think, and that's another thing that I get with pregnancies, and I seem to be already having symptoms of that at just 4 weeks. So and I've actually had that in the last couple of weeks after I've conceived. So yeah. What else? My areolas are huge, like enormous. Like, I've got big areola. I know this is TMI, but you know, you guys know what I'm like. I'm going to tell you everything. I have big areolas anyway, and big nipples. My nipples don't seem to have changed too much, but my areolae, they are huge, particularly the underneath bit of the nipple. That part of the areolae seems to have got a lot bigger. Yes, darling. Yeah. And now Polly's coming. You're trapped in here now, Polly. Anyway, sorry about all the interruptions. What was I saying? Oh. Yeah, my areolas, how could I forget? Yeah, the colour seems to have changed a little bit as well. I can't pinpoint whether they're darker or lighter, they just look different. They just look different. I can't really explain it. So yeah, there's that. Before my period was due, my breasts were very, very sensitive and tender, but that seems to have settled down now. But my nipples seem to be very, very sensitive, like highly sensitive. So breastfeeding is a little bit ouchy at the moment. So I don't know, but at the moment it's a little bit sensitive. So yeah, that's definitely a symptom. I have baby bloat, and I mean bloated. I look about at least 3 months, 4 months pregnant. My stomach is huge, and it's not baby bump, and I'm not even saying it is, even though I have had 4 children, and yes, my stomach muscles were badly damaged in those pregnancies. I tore my stomach muscles, and they haven't really completely ever gone back together. But I haven't done any exercises to encourage them. It's definitely not something that needs surgery, and I think they would go back together, but I haven't done any exercises because I'm a lazy ass. But yeah, my stomach muscles are really, really damaged still, so I would expect that anything inside my stomach in terms of bloating and my uterus growing and things like that is just going to show really obviously really early on. But I don't even think it's anything to do with my uterus. I literally think that I'm just so bloated. But it's ridiculous. I mean, seriously, I can't even suck it in. It is so bad. And particularly after I eat something, after I've eaten something, it's just like, I've gone. And it's getting really hard to hide. I'm having to try and find clothes where I can try and disguise how massive my belly is. So yeah, that's interesting. My nose is really congested, but that always is the case with pregnancy for me. I always get really congested, and it'll probably stay like that throughout the whole time I'm pregnant. So there's that. My gums have been really sensitive and bleeding slightly. But there's a couple of things I just quickly wanted to say, if I can get this through quickly, that will maybe be interesting to you guys. And that is that when I was doing the pregnancy tests, they got darker and then seemed to get lighter, and then darker and seemed to get lighter, or stayed the same. And at first it kind of worried me, because I thought maybe I was just going to have a miscarriage or a chemical pregnancy, or maybe I had a blighted ovum or something like that. And what I discovered is that my first morning urine is not my most concentrated urine sample. So my evening urine, especially if I'd hold my urine for like 4 hours, say, was much more highly concentrated than my first morning urine. If I tested in the morning, it would hardly be there. So I thought that was really, really interesting, because you know, for you ladies that maybe are having, you know, lighter than darker tests and you're worrying, or maybe you test in the morning only and you don't think there's any point in testing in the evening because you think it won't show up on a pregnancy test. I'm here to tell you, and I've actually looked into this with several other women, and it seems to be the case that a lot of women are saying their first morning urine is not their strongest urine sample. And I know that goes in the face of all the scientific research, which is that it's more concentrated during the night, and if you've held your bladder for a long period of time. But for me, that just certainly wasn't the case. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting to tell you guys my symptoms for week 4, and I'm going to do a more detailed video, but I thought I'd just get this up here now so that I'm trying to keep up with the videos, because last pregnancy I was really slack with the videos, and this time I really want to try and make regular weekly videos for you guys. Anyway, I'm going to quickly go, and I'll speak to you all later. See you later, guys. Bye.